My new beautiful RockShox Zeb Ultimate does not feel good, especially riding over all the small rocks and roots. It feels stiff and I feel all the small little chatter straight into my hands. But today we're gonna fix that with this right here. Well, hopefully that is. So don't click off the video because it looks too hard. I actually removed the damper and the air spring because I want to demonstrate something, and look how stiff this fork is. This is just friction right here. So let me explain what's going on. So a quick overview. The modern mountain bike forks are telescopic. So when the fork compresses, these stanchions slide into the lowers. And you have your dust wipers, your foam rings, and just below that you have a set of bushings. These are metal rings coated with PTFE that your stanchions slide through. PTFE is very slippery and should make the fork movement nice and smooth. The big issue with these mass-produced forks is that the bushings are too tight, as you can see here with my brand new fork. The bushings are pressed in with a machine and they often go out of round in the process, leading to increased friction when the fork slides up and down, and that leads to poor small bump compliance. So to fix a bushing that's too tight or ovalized, we use a tool from Relative Motion Suspension called a fork bushing sizing / burnishing tool. With the tool head, you choose your stanchion size and then the amount that you want to resize, and I'm going to go with 0.1 millimeters to start. Relative Motion Suspension, or from here on I'll call them RMS, did send this kit to me, but I reached out to them after researching on what I could do to help this Zeb fork. So this isn't a sponsored video or anything. I'm just super curious and hopeful that this solves my tight bushing problems. Look, it's not even going up right now, dude. So this will be my first time ever resizing and burnishing my fork bushings. But from what I'm reading online, a lot of people have said that this is the way to truly unlock your fork's potential. I even found a Fox factory mechanic doing this exact thing in a 2017 article on Pinkbike. And just to clarify, you do not need to remove the fork damper and the air spring to do this. I don't even think you need to remove the dust wiper, but let's give this a go. All right, the first leg is done and that took like 30 seconds. The upper bushing was definitely way tighter than the lower one, and I might even pass through the larger head, the 0.13 millimeter, on the top only. But oh yeah, I forgot to mention the price of this tool. So I got a kit with multiple sizes and multiple different stanchion diameters, but let's say you just wanted one size with the handle, it would run you $162, which is not bad for this beautifully machined piece made in Canada, so that's pretty cool. And I'll have a link in the description. But now I'm gonna do the other side, and then I'll run the 0.13 on the top, and then we can see if it made a difference, if a fork like slides up and down super smooth. Man, I can't wait. There we go, both sides are done, so let's test this out and just see if it's any better. Man, I was hoping that this test would show the lowers as gliding down without touching them, but it's definitely a lot better than before. And RMS says that the bushings can actually spring back and become deformed again, so I'll probably have to do this procedure over, especially on a new fork, which I don't think is a problem to me. It was super easy, and I'm all about getting the most performance possible. But you might be wondering, what are the downsides to doing this, and why is everyone not doing it? One downside people might bring up is that it's burning off the PTFE inside the bushing and decreasing the life of the fork, but I don't think that's true. The word burnishing means to polish. So it's taking that PTFE and smoothing it out and making the bushings more round. So if anything, a smoother operating fork would probably prolong the life of the fork. So why is everyone not doing this? Well, I'm not sure. That's kind of why I'm making this video, to spread awareness. The factories aren't doing this because it's super expensive to resize every single bushing and every fork that they press in. And they'd rather warranty a fork here and there than resize every single bushing. But yeah, I'm gonna get this fork back together and then it's time to go test this thing. So right off the bat, first thing I'm noticing is on the climb actually. So normally on the climb, my weight is way back, right? So there's almost no weight on the fork. So there's actually not enough force to break free of that friction. So it basically is like I'm riding a rigid fork uphill. But now, dude, it's actually broken free and I can definitely feel that it's moving up and down while climbing. But now let's check out some downhill. I'm excited for this, man. All right, here we go. There's a flow trail. There's some pretty good braking bumps coming up right here. Yeah, wow. Man, I'm super happy that I resized my bushings because the fork just feels so freed up now. But I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and say that the fork is amazing and it absorbs every bump and I can't feel anything into my hands, because that's not the case just yet. In fact, I still gotta dial in a lot of the settings to really dial in this fork, but it feels a lot better than before. And I took it down a chunk trail, and it's one of the roughest trails that we have here in Bentonville. And the fork felt like it was super active and just hugging the ground really nicely. And when a fork is tracking the ground, that means you have more traction. So that's awesome right there. The biggest difference that I noticed was actually when I leaned the bike over in a turn. So normally when you're turning and leaning the bike over, let's use this as an example. This is a stanchion, this is the lower. So when you lean the bike over, you have some sort of flexing lateral, or maybe they call that axial. I don't know the terminology, but it wants to bind and not let these go smoothly. Resizing those bushings, it really freed up that fork when it's leaned over. And that was the biggest difference that I noticed, because this fork felt like I was riding a rigid fork in the turns, man. And now it's just like perfectly gripping the ground, and I have so much more front end traction now. I am so excited for that. But let me know in the comments if you've ever had this problem before, whether it was a new fork that didn't feel good, or a fork that you've had that just never felt that good. Or let me know if you've ever resized your bushings before. But having a discussion in the comments is how we can all grow together as bike mechanics. And I would not be where I am today without the commenters, the Saga Squad commenting, giving me all these tips. And also don't forget, the Polygon Siskiyou T9 raffle is still live. We got 1 week left. It's a 100% free raffle for USA only. So click that link in the description if you want to enter. And also, if you want to get yourself a fork bushing resizing / burnishing tool, check out that link below to head to Relative Motion Suspension. But all right, I'm gonna keep riding. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.